Good evening, everybody. It's past 12, and we're back with more indie horror. This time, we're playing an old game that came out way back in 2004. It was a point and click horror game that came out on Newgrounds. I don't know if everybody remembers Newgrounds. Um, but yeah, this game scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. And let's see how it holds up. I actually never got to play the full game because at the time I was just too fucking terrified to do it. But here we are, 2026, and we are playing it. Turn the lights down and the sound up. So this is point and click horror, and we're a man investigating an abandoned house. That's as far as I've got. Let's check it out. There's a couple other games that were point and click horror games that I haven't gotten around to, but this is one of the ones that became an instant fucking cult classic. Just because of it was just something else. So here we go. Exmortis. Okay, got some heavy breathing. Here we go. You wake up in the woods with a lump on your head. You can't remember how you got there. All you can recall are the dreams. It's late, cold, and you are unsure of where you are exactly. Fighting through the headache, you regain your focus. You see a house in a clearing and a site of shelter there. Anything is better than freezing to death in these woods. And that's the house we're sheltering in. Okay. Let's do it. Alright, we're at the front door. And we're entering the house. And there's whispering. This is where... Okay, these stairs lead up to a second level. A hallway shrouded in the shadows. Let's check out the hallway shrouded in the shadows. Why not? Okay. What do we got? An old fan. It doesn't look like it's worked in a long time. Just another painting on the wall. Okay, we got an edgy pentagram here. I wonder if this is gonna be a puzzle or something for as I go along. Okay, the hallway leads off into the darkness. Let's go in here. Okay. The handle turns, but the door refuses to budge. It's almost like someone is holding it closed. Okay, how about we don't go to the cellar entrance, or don't go into the cellar? How about that? The hallway leads off into the darkness. Let's do it. Okay. A dusty chandelier hangs from the ceiling. This door seems to be locked on the left. A grandfather clock is ticking away in the corner. What do we got here? Okay. Let's go to the right. Ground floor hall. Oh. The cupboard appears to be empty. A knife sits on the shelf. A bloodstained knife. You should probably arm yourself with a slightly larger weapon. I mean, this kind of suffices. I don't know, man. You're getting fucking slash hacked and you're getting a fucking knuckle sandwich. But okay. These are empty. An old dishwasher. A fucking microwave dripping with blood. And there's gonna be like a hand or something in it. I already just know. The microwave, and there seems to be blood dripping out of it. Oh. A severed head. It appears to be a fresh kill. Whoever the killer is, he will probably be back soon, and I don't want to be here when he returns. Ooh, that's pretty fucking gruesome. I hope I can even upload this to YouTube, but but okay. I'm gonna get fucking blocked here, or age restricted. Okay, so we're not in an abandoned house. It's filled with dead bodies, and there's a fucking killer on the loose. That's when we like barricade ourselves in a room, or we take our chances outside. There's nothing of interest on this coffee table. Blood stains these chairs. Okay, I'm clicking on everything. There's a book. I didn't want to read the book, but let's read it. Because this is, I guess, all we got to do, right? May 24th, 1997. An unusually eventful day today. I stumbled across an unusual find whilst out hunting for deer in this remote wilderness. Stalking a wild steed into a clearing, you can only imagine my surprise to find a house. Old and seemingly abandoned, but still standing strong. An interesting find, one that certainly has me curious. May 25th, 1997. Upon my investigation with the city archives earlier this morning, it appears that the house has been abandoned for almost 10 years, and currently resides under the control of the local government. I feel that its location must be too remote for them to be able to tear it down, but I must admit that I feel drawn back to the house, mostly out of curiosity, but I cannot deny that there is something else about that place that has me yearning to return. May 28th, 1997. I could not put it off any longer. I called in sick to the office today and decided that I would retrace my steps into the wilderness to once again find the house which has been foremost on my mind of late. It didn't take much to find it again, as it was almost like I was being guided back to the exact spot that I found myself some 4 days ago. Once I plucked up enough courage, I pushed open the unlocked front door. Admittedly, I was very surprised at the ease of which the door opened, considering that the hinge had probably built up a good 10 years worth of rust. To my relative astonishment, the place was still furnished, though very dirty and completely run down. I was and still am amazed at the state of the place, considering that it had been empty for so long. I decided that I would explore the house and not disturb anything within. My fear had not subsided, and as a matter of fact, it is still with me as I record this journal some hours later. My curiosity took me through the kitchen, bedroom, and lounge room before a thumping noise from the roof on the second level startled me so much that I ran straight out the front door and back through the forest to my automobile. As it was, I almost fell off a small ledge and into the thicket below. I felt like a complete fool being scared off by rats, which I assume they were. May 29th, 1997. I had a nightmare last night. All I can remember is the blood and the frightened screams surrounding me and the house. The house was in my nightmare too. May 30th, 1997. I called in sick to work once again so that I could venture out to the wilderness and explore the abandoned house once more. Not surprisingly, I found the structure with relative ease as I did yesterday. However, I was startled when I noticed that the front door was closed. I am certain that when I left in such a hurry the other day that the door had been left ajar. In any case, I eventually attributed to the closed door to the wind, as I was clearly the only person who had been in the old house recently. I repeatedly scoured through the house for anything interesting, heading back to the previously visited rooms. Once again, as I passed through the hallway outside the main bedroom on the second level, I heard heavy thumping coming from the roof. I was instantly very tempted to repeat yesterday's dash from the house, but I swallowed my fear and continued on with the exploration. In the limited time that I had before dusk, unfortunately I did not uncover anything that would help explain the mysterious disappearance of the most recent tenants. May 31st, 1997. I sit here in the lounge room of the old house by the candlelight recording in this journal this event that has transpired today. Although I am scared to within an inch of my life, I am bound to this house and feel that I do not have the strength or resolve to run back to my car at such an advanced hour. As I have for the past week, I returned to this house with the intent of uncovering anything that could help answer the question of its missing tenant. I failed to uncover anything that could help the cause, but what I did find seems far more precious than disturbing than I could have ever hoped for. And I was scouring the library for any misplaced photos or letters. I almost tripped myself over a leather-bound book sitting in the middle of the dusty floor. I was certainly miffed as to how I missed it in my movements through the house in the past few days. Picking up the book, I felt a slight empowerment rush through me. The distant sound of wind began to sound like whispers, and the room in which I was standing seemed to darken. I wondered what knowledge the scribe had passed down the ages for me. Enchanted by this aging literature, I retreated back to the lounge room, settled down in one of the most comfortable chairs, and continued to read through the contents of the book. Written in what seems to be a red ink of some sort, a lot of content didn't initially make sense to me, as the majority of it is written in language that is foreign to me. But in the back of the book, there were abridged translations which were written by a Mr. Xavier Rehaim from 1890. The majority of what I could understand seemed rather jumbled and nonsensical. Rather disappointed, I closed the book and relieved myself of its burden. Things from this point became rather blurred and frighteningly surreal. The sound of the distant forest, animals stopped as if all life paused, waiting for my next move. The wind outside stopped pounding against the shuttered windows, and the candle winked out of existence, leaving me in almost pitch-black conditions. I listened closely, and all I could hear over my heartbeat and rasping breath was a whispering that I shrugged off before. It was coming from every direction, yet no direction at all. The whispering slowly got louder, until it sounded like a dull roar. Voices of many different types called out. They cried in pain, screamed my name, and some shouted obscenities I dare not repeat. There were so many of them, so many voices. I felt multiple hands pin me down to the chair on my upper torso, but every time I flailed my arms out in front of me, they connected with nothing but air. The harder I was pressed against the chair, the harder it was for me to breathe, and soon I could not breathe at all. I blacked out. The last thing that I remember was a flash of my nightmare from the night before, a flash of the blood, a flash of the screams, the house. I woke up about 20 minutes ago, slumped in the same chair. It is now long after dark, and I dare not brave the sub-zero temperatures of the woodland winter to return home this evening. Tonight I will be staying here in this accursed house. I sometimes think that I can still hear the whispering, or are they just echoes of my earlier brush with madness? I can feel the urge of slumber rush towards me like a freight train. I pray that I survive the night. June 1st, 1997. Plagued by nightmares more vivid than I care to remember, I awoke screaming. It appears that I had slept through the daylight hours, but it didn't matter to me. I was incensed to fight the freezing conditions outside and return home, but I was scared to move from the spot. They started whispering to me again. I want to leave, but I can't. They won't let me. I scream at them, but they just laugh and utter obscenities back at me. What have I released upon the world? June 3rd, 1997. Vlau spoke to me today. It is he who is spoken of in the Exmortis. With every word he whispers to my mind, I tremble as if my soul has been shaken to its core. June 7th, 1997. I have been here for over a week now. Surely someone must be looking for me by now. I pray that they find me. My captors here won't let me leave. Every door, every exit, the handles turn, but the door doesn't move on its hinges. June 16th, 1997. I no longer fear death. I actually pray that it comes for me. June 30th, 1997. They still torment me, keeping me here, keeping me alive. They need me to I can't even write of it. July 20th, 1997. I feel my sanity has almost left me. I hallucinate so vividly, I can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. The ancient shows me images of his former glory. I don't understand why they want me, why they need me. July 26, 1997. I am actually surprised. I am told that they seek not to control me, they only seek my assistance in aiding the inevitable. But why do I continue to resist? What they tell me makes more sense than anything I have ever known, but I still fear them and what they will do to me should I refuse. But at this moment, I cannot think of a single reason why I should. August 13th, 1997. An acceptance all that I have ever yearned for, but the greater good here is far more complicated, yet so much easier to obtain. They smile upon me now. Strangely though, I like it. I find myself basking in the warmth of their chilling promises. August 22nd, 1997. I am comfortable and I am learning about the true nature of the world and what is beyond it. I don't know why I continue writing in this journal. I guess that it's the last semblance of humanity that I have left within me. It's ridiculous though. I am becoming much more than human with every moment that I spend under the patient tutelage. I have been tempted to throw this journal into the fire on many occasions. Reading over its pages only reminds me of how weak I used to be. I've lost track of the day, but I am sure that I have been here for over a year. It has been a long time since I have entered anything into this journal. I can rejoice though. We will have company. At last I will finally be rewarded. A group approacheth to provide me with the everlasting cup of life. A day away, no more, no less, I am told. Wrath, death, blood. My day has finally arrived. The Exmortis shall make the world remember what I was, and I will be integral in reinstating what will be. I can see them now. A group of campers, as I was promised, 3 males and 2 females. Now all I can do is wait for my time, become their hand, immortality beyond patience, and patience beyond the dominion. I can taste it now. Anoint me, Lord Vlau, the time has come. Okay, so this guy came and wandered into the fucking house. He found the book of the Exmortis, and it sounds like he was possessed on some like Evil Dead shit. Oh, come on, didn't mean to do that. So he's still here, right? Because this sounds recent, right? He's gonna be our killer. So this guy's like fucking all evil and shit now, and he's hunting campers. So I would imagine that that head that we found inside the microwave was probably one of the campers. So 3 males and 2 females. So we found one of them. Okay. Nothing of interest on this coffee table. Okay. Let's leave this room. How about that? Okay, do we have anything else in here? A trail of blood leads under the door. Now let's back out. Okay, this room is still locked. Chandelier hangs from the ceiling. Okay, how about... Let's go upstairs now, right? Since that's the only other place that we haven't gone. The stairs lead up to a second level. And there's whispering. Okay. I feel like I'm about to get jump scared. Moonlight streams through this window. Okay. Let's go right, I guess. Excuse me? And also, side table, nothing of interest here. I'm hearing thumping. What? The bedspread is soaked in someone else's blood. Oh, there was a safe hidden behind the painting. Wow, I didn't see that coming. The gramophone is unplugged, but it's still rotating. How is this possible? Alright, we need a combination, which I don't have. Okay. How the hell did so much blood get on the roof? We gotta close the door. Okay. The window is boarded up, maybe by someone who valued their privacy. The bathtub is filled with what seems to be blood. Oh, here we go. You found a key lodged in the pipe of the sink. Just an ordinary, if somewhat dirty bathroom sink. Okay. Alright, let's back the fuck out. What is it? Attic. A hatch in the roof might lead to an attic. Ah, fuck. And there's something upstairs. Here we go. A torso hung up by the arms has been ripped to shreds. You retch at the mere sight. Okay, so we found another one. What's this? 3489. That's for the safe. Okay. Is there anything else in here? I'm clicking like on everything. Okay, so 3489. Okay, so we're gonna get jump scared. Something's gonna happen. Three, 489. Enter. Okay. A strange symbol is smeared in blood on the safe wall. It appears to be a human heart. Okay, so the symbol is an F with double lines, and we got a book, a dark leather-bound book titled Exmortis. Oh, man, it's gonna get some more reading in. I feel dehydrated, or I didn't get a fucking swig of water before I read this shit. Gotta summon the rest of the fucking the deadites. Or Pinhead and his fucking ragtag of BDSM monsters. The Book of Exmortis. Okay. I'm at the squint for this one. The Book of Exmortis. what was. Before the dawn of man and beast, the earth realm was ruled by the ancients, mystical beings transcending life, death, time, and reality as most mere mortals know it. The days before life and light were ruled by darkness and chaos. The ancients roamed the plane of existence and lived on the blood of the consent of the... this is what I was fearing I was going to run into. On the blood of the Canonis, I can't even read that, the Conest, whatever, and rule over lesser entities. There were many of these ruling archaic spirits, however, one by one, over many millennia, the greed and arrogance saw them turn against each other. And that word was conquest. I don't know why I didn't see it before. It's a Q. Conquest. On the blood of conquest and rule over lesser entities. Alright. They sought blood, destruction, and dominance over their own kind, and many immortal sentiments met their demise as a result. The consolidation of the remaining power saw the ancients' rule divided amongst the remaining three. Azrael, Kefada, and Vlay frequently exerted their wrath and cruelty through their ferocity towards each other's dominion. The blood of many was split as the remaining three fought against his brother for the spoils and power that they each possessed. Upon the battlefield, Azrael's forces redeemed the armies of Vlay to dust and eliminating in long-awaited glorious victory, but his compassion towards his defeated brother saw Vlay get a reprieve from the certain destruction that he faced. Knowing that defeating Kay's forces would require many more millennia of fighting, Azrael appointed Vlau as his general, knowing that the power of the two ancients was enough to win undisputed control. In a final bloody battle in the Crimson Sky, the penultimate confrontation played out, Kay, not realizing that Vlau was still corporal and leading Azrael's armies, made the grave mistake of underestimating the strength of his opponent. And this is a little bit harder to read. I'm probably butchering a lot of shit here. The losses took the Kay forces by surprise, and before they had time to regroup, Vlay had plunged his sword deep into the heart of his defenses. Azrael's forces streamed into the last stronghold of Kay, slaying every sentient entity that stood against them. Kefada's army were eventually defeated, leaving Vlay triumphant in his victory. His subordinates fought ferociously, and they were to be rewarded with a unified rule over the Earth realm. Azrael, holding no compassion towards Kefada, as he had Vlay destroyed the life force of his nemesis and claimed the kingdom as his own. With his totalitarian control, he decided that Vlay was no longer of use to him. Unfortunate for him, he did not count on his armies living with the powerful Vlay, and a ferocious realization of this challenge in the face of certain ascension. The Earth realm shook with the power of Azrael's anger towards his army's treachery. Vlay showed no mercy towards his brother, knowing that he could not make the same mistake that Azrael made. Without hesitation, Vlay had Azrael slain by his own ethereal hand, and he assumed total control of the consolidated kingdom of the Earth realm. The tyrannical rule of Vlay lasted for many millennia with no one to challenge him, but conspire certain forces did against the sole remaining ancient. They have their time recruiting supporters of the overthrowing. Vlay was ambushed and overpowered by his trusted advisors, but knowing that only one of his own kin could destroy him, he had his corporal presence removed to exit for eternity in the demonic spirit form. The remaining world of archaic lessers were dispersed and were governed under each individual's rule. It was true chaos with no joint agenda. Vlay, without corporal form and no longer able to physically alter the world, roamed the Earth realm for the rest of his existence. Diminished in power, he still had many followers to which he would spiritually combine his life force with. Instead of exiting as a single powerful entity, Vlay becoming subversively indestructible by being many, he called his new legion of existence the Exmortis. What is the appearance of soul-bearing creatures of flesh and blood saw a new rule within the Earth realm. Over many thousands of years, many destroyed countless lesser entities, some very powerful, even some who helped overthrow Vlay's previous rule. While man was physically weak in comparison to the entities of dark times, their souls gave them many advantages, and it was one to these advantages that the Earth realm's entities were reduced to minimal numbers. A world once ruled with strength and might was now in the hands of the weak. The handful of ancient entities sought to influence and control humanity for mutual gain. Vlay's Exmortis prospered where other entities failed, purely because of their strength in numbers and the wisdom of the mighty ancient himself. Together as one, the Exmortis was worshipped widely in the world of man, but human nature led to conflict, and the cult of Vlay was tragically cold and almost forgotten. With every passing human year, Vlay's influence and power to the Earth realm was diminished, until all that remained was that was recorded in the written form. After the death of the final disciple, Vlay and the Exmortis slept until the day humanity was ready for the anointment of his hand. What will be? Prophecy and the word of Vlay speaks of the coming of the hand of repose. Anointed with the blood of 5, a selected man will transcend humanity and evolve to become the link between the Earth realm and Vlay's Exmortis. Awakening the ancient from his slumber, the hand will be charged with the power to bring about the uprising of the cult of Exmortis once again. Blood, wrath, and strength will once again rule the Earth realm, and Vlay will walk tall and rule amongst mortals as it was meant to be in the time before light and life. Rite of charging the hand. Translated from the Aramaic Cult of Exmortis scrolls, the rite of charging the hand reads as follows. Devour the crimson life of 5, marks of Vlay given to thee. Mirrored below the soul survive, what was, what is, and what will be. Xavier Rehaim, 1890. Here's Vlay in corporal form. Okay, so that was pretty fucking hard to read. But, yeah, that's just me. Okay, so we got these ancient demonic spirits. One took control of all of them. He formed this cult called the Exmortis, and then they got fucking wiped out, and they're currently sleeping. So my guess is that this guy, right, because we read the diary earlier in that living room, this guy is part of the Exmortis, so he's most likely going to be the right hand of this guy. He's doing the fucking dirty work to revive the cult and bring this guy back to form. Unless it's already happened, right? So I think that's what's going on. Okay. Get another swig of water here because Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm fucking... Whew. I feel like I was smacking my lips. A little too much. Alright. Well, we got a key. Can we go left? What's over here? Second level hallway. The door handle. The door has no handle. Okay. So if we go back. So that key's gonna open that locked door by the chandelier, I'd imagine. Okay, we haven't had any actual jump scares, so I'm a little surprised. Okay, use the key to open the door. Damn, this guy's like getting louder and louder in that fucking cellar. Alright, we got a severed arm. The house is turning out to be a graveyard. We got something has been written in the blood. Another symbol. So this looks like a U. We got an F and a U. Are they trying to tell us something here? F you, fuck you too, Exmortis. Alright, so there's something very unnerving about this sculpture. The word remember is smeared in the blood on this mirror. Okay. Xavier Rehaim. Okay, 1878. Oh, more fucking reading. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. The tale of my daughter Gwen is a sad and sorrowful fable. I refer to it as a fable for my mortal brain cannot begin to comprehend the horrors that I have witnessed in this house. So I cast what I have witnessed into my memory as delusion and morbid fantasy. My small family moved to this house of solitude last summer to escape the perils of society and to mourn the unfortunate death of my wife, Julia. Tuberculosis claimed her life. Only months before my move to this place, hindsight is a beautiful thing, and knowing what I knew now is what a move that I would never make again. The days rolled onwards towards inevitability, and my daughter and I continued our simple existence. Being a scholar myself, I enjoyed passing the time reading the literature left here by the previous owner of this detached house. Many of the fine works kept here proved to be very old and of extreme interest to me. Some works proved very challenging indeed and very hard to translate. The library provided here has an abundance of books, flavored with subjects focused on the occult. One particular book caught my interest, simply titled Exmortis. The word is a derivative of ex mortis, which loosely translated to the dead. It was from the moment that I finished translating this book from an unusual dialect of ancient Aramaic, mind you, and read the final English translation that our troubles here begun. My daughter, the only other occupant of this house, grew distant from me over the course of the following week. She developed rageful tendencies towards my percentage, and she started having seizures which worried me immensely at the time. But these unusual events didn't limit themselves to my daughter. I began having nightmares so ghastly that I dare not recall them. Suffice to say, I was concerned by the disturbing changes to both my daughter and I. After the first week, the hallucinations began. I recall hearing noises and whispering as well as a sighting movement in my peripheral vision. I constantly had the feeling that someone was in the room with me, but upon searching, it was clear that I wasn't alone. Or that I was alone. My dear Gwen, however, became less active all of a sudden. She was almost catatonic, as stages not reacting to conversation or physical prompting. She would just shuffle her petite form around the house and stare blankly through me whenever I confronted her. It was shortly after a month of this behavior that I began to notice certain physical changes in my daughter. She seemed withered in her appearance, but her face would at times seem bloated and twisted horribly. It wasn't until a fleeting moment in my day that my hope was crushed forever. My darling Gwen broke free from this new personality that had gripped her for months. She screamed and cried for me to help her, to save her from the monsters that now plagued her body. All that I could do was hold her in my arms and assure her that I would free her from the prison she was trapped in, and then she was lost forever. The Gwen that I loved had resurfaced for only a minute, but to me it was enough to realize what had to be done. That night, while she slept in her room, I crept in with a dagger in hand and plunged it deep into her heart. She writhed and convulsed in agony while all I could do was just watch and sob from the corner. In her dying breath, the real Gwen locked eyes with me and spoke, "Thank you, Daddy." I sit here now recounting the events that led me to this point in my insanity. My wife and daughter taken from me over the past 6 months, leaving me with nothing but their memories and this house. But I fear that now I am a target for this invisible force that resides within these walls. I am trapped, unable to venture past the front door or the cellar hatch to the surrounding forest. I hear voices from all around me and cursing me for my actions. I occasionally see her, my Gwen, standing in the hallway looking straight through me like she used to. I hope that I have saved her soul, but after seeing her apparition on a daily basis, I fear that all I have done is aided my tormentors. I now spend my days reading, researching, and translating the library. I feel that it's my purpose in this house. May God have mercy on my soul, and may death soon relieve me of the guilt I carry. Damn. So I think this is written by this guy, so Xavier Raham. So he came in and he released the fucking curse, right? He found the literatures of the Exmortis and he translated it, and because he translated it, he essentially recited it like in the Evil Dead, right? Yeah, so now imagine that we got like fucking deadites running around this fucking house or something. Okay. Where is this? Let's go back in here. The handle turns but the door refuses to budge. Okay. So that's still locked. Okay, so the only door that's still locked is the upstairs. We still have that one room upstairs on the left side of the hall that we have not gone to. Right? The door is now ajar. Oh. Hi there. Gwen Raham or just another hallucination? I should not have done that. Wake up. The blood of Gwen Raham stains the sheets. It was over 100 years ago that she was murdered, so how can the blood still be wet? Because there's campers being murdered in this fucking house, dude. You're not alone. Is there anything for me to click in here? Just that? Okay. Just another painting. Okay, so we've gone everywhere but in here. Okay, open sesame, bitch. Okay. Can't move the time. Let's go back in here. What is amiss? What have I not? Okay, I read the diary. I read the bloodstains. Okay, so there's nothing else for us in here. Okay. Am I missing? Okay, I've opened every cupboard. Oh, I didn't open this. A griller builds into the bench. Oh, that's it? I can't, like... Okay. Let's back it up. Let's go back in here. Well, can we leave? There's no electricity in this house, so the lamp doesn't work. The fireplace looks like it hasn't been used for years. Okay. Well, we got two symbols. We got the F and the U. So I've yet to figure out what those symbols are going to be used for. You got anything in here? So we're missing something in this house. What are we missing? Alright, back upstairs it is. Let's go to the right. An old oak side table, nothing of interest here. let's check out the bathroom again. Did they re-enter the combination again? I don't know, you forgot it, so we're gonna have to go back. $34.89. Oh, there's another symbol. So FUE. FUE 34.89. Does that have something to do with the clock? Yeah, so damn it, I keep doing that. Okay, let's go to the left again. Well, her spirit is still roaming around the fucking house. There's ghosts, and then there's a crazy fucking monster maniac somewhere. There's nothing else for us to interact with in here. Okay. There's like nowhere to go but that fucking cellar and the clock to interact with. The door slams locked behind you. An old air filtration unit, but the ducting runs away from the actual house. Okay, I got an axe. You picked up the bloodstained axe. How do I swing it though? Okay. The part of the wall has been boarded up. Underground tunnels. An old tunnel system stretches off into the darkness. Alright, we're doing this. This door is locked. A sign says Temple of Exmortis. Oh, we found their temple. Okay, let's go straight ahead. I guess we're gonna find a key and come back. Okay, going further in.
I'll kill you, you son of a bitch.
Oh, what the fuck? A symbol appears on the forehead. Then that must mean this is the 5th sacrifice. If I'm not the one of the 5 campers, then who am I? I can't be. No, please, no. The severed head of the man who attacked you. What the fuck? Wait, am I the psycho killer? A small hole in the wall. You found a key buried in the dirt. Okay, we're gonna go back. Dude, I just killed the fucking camper. I just decapitated that motherfucker. He's trying to kill me. You know what? I'm the bad guy here. I should have just let him kill me. Use the key to open the door.
Welcome back, child. You have served us well up until this point. Now serve us again. Become the hand of Exmortis. Devour the crimson life of
Select the symbols in order to solve the puzzle or make a run for the forest.
Mirror below the cells of life. What was, what is, and what will be.
I don't know, I was gonna have to remember that fucking pentagram, but okay. Fuck, I don't remember. Select the symbols in order to solve the puzzle or make a run for the fucking forest. Well, I'm gonna have to run for the forest because I don't remember that shit.
Foolish man, you will perish beyond the forest.
This is where you must have stashed the bodies. Don't stare at them. Run for it. What the fuck? You failed to escape the tunnels in time. Try again.
Foolish man, you will perish beyond the forest.
We're running, we're being fucking chased out, we're being chased out, come on. I'm out in the forest. I don't know what that said, I missed it. Run out to the darkness. And your mist settles over the surrounding woods. A track out into the woods. The track continues onward. A will-used track that leads back to civilization. You can finally return back to the world you have been kept. You wake up in the woods with a lump on your head. You can't remember how you got there. All you can recall are the dreams. Or maybe they are memories. You see a house in the clearing and decide to shelter there. Anything is better than freezing to death in these woods. Ah, so it just reloops. Okay, I get it. So we're the fucking crazy psychomaniac that killed the campers because we read that stupid Book of the Dead. Okay, but so there's two endings, right? I got by the fucking bald-headed demon, and then I got by Blay or whatever. I imagine if I get caught by the camper, it's just that the game just ends right there. You died with the end screen. But what happens if I get the other one in order? Let me see. Let me refresh this because I want to know. All right, so come on. I wish I can skip all this shit. I want to know what happens if I get everything in order. Alright, so I'm gonna skip right to it. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, I'm back. So we're gonna try to solve this pentagram puzzle really quick. Alright, come on, let's get your ugly ass mug off the fucking screen.
Served us well up until this point.
I was trying to read
Become the hand of
reread certain parts of certain books. In the pentagram on the wall that we found earlier, but I still don't understand. These are select the symbols in order to solve the puzzle or make a run for the forest. Okay. Shut your ass up. I just don't know what the order would be. Okay. I'm just gonna make certain combinations here till I get it. What the fuck, man? Jesus fucking Christ. That's it? The world news, Exmortis cult lures many. I sat there and fucking tried to guess that shit, and I finally fucking nailed it. The world news, anarchy, major cities burn. Okay, I couldn't figure out, like, I was able to get far enough to figure out that the symbols that we found on everybody, millions die at the hand of the Exmortis cult. The symbols that we found scattered throughout the house, they're letters. They're not numbers, they're letters that spell out Vlay, or whatever the motherfucker's name was. I just couldn't figure out, I figured that out. I just could not figure out the order that they were used to I guess, do it for that guy, right? I tried spelling his name, but that wasn't it. I tried referencing back to the picture of the pentagram in the hall, but that didn't do much for me either. So, fuck it, I guess I'll be influenced by various movies such as Evil Dead, Poltergeist, and Hellraiser. Yeah, definitely Evil Dead here. Yeah, www.lefflerwebdesign.cjb.net. Play again for alternate ending. Well, I got the alternate ending already. But yeah, there you have it. Exmortis. Cult classic game that came out back in 2004. I believe there were 3 games that were made because this one was so goddamn successful, and I think the second one might be... No, this is the most popular one out of the 3. But yeah, this game is still really good. It's definitely got an atmosphere that kind of kicks a little bit. Yeah, short, good stuff. But let me know what you guys think of it. If you guys like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.